Welcome, everybody. My name is nope, not that kind of video. Hello, everybody. I am Announcer Dark, and today we're in the final match of our Forge Alliance tournament that we have between Ethan and Mitch. I'm going to sneeze, but I can't. I need to sneeze, but I can't. But let's just get this split screen going and just watch Ethan and Mitch as the slow start of the final match begins. In the top right corner. Nope, not top right corner. On the right side, we have the tyrannical Mitch as his tyranny of mayhem continues across the land as the Aeon population swells. No, that's kind of complimenting him. As he forces the Aeon to expand their empire. And on the left side, we have the dictator Ethan. Both are tyrannical rulers, but Ethan, he is a dictator to his troops. He will send them to the deaths. He doesn't care about them at all. He just forces his troops on to fight and doesn't care a single bit about their lives. He's let many engineers off to death and never cared for them. Both are tyrannical rulers of the Aeon. It's a shame that it's a shame how they live, but I feel bad for their troops most of the time. Anyways, let's get back into it. There's nothing really going on, but the first engineers have popped out the factory line. And we'll see how things start going from here. It's a slow build-up, people. You can't help it, but, you know, you can't do shit about it. Yeah. So, how you guys doing today? Enjoying yourself? That's good. I'm here watching two tyrannical rulers duke it out for the final time in this first round series. The first match went to Mitch with his cunning takeover of taking the mass extractors and Kami away from Ethan. But the second match, that was a doozy. No, seriously, it was a doozy. You just fall asleep all the time. But anyways, Ethan duked it out with a commander versus commander fight and ended up winning in the end due to an upgrade. But in the third match, who knows who's going to win? Who is going to move on into the second round? Yeah, into the second round finalists, and who's going to be entering the loser brackets? Now, the way this tournament is set up, because I only found out a while ago how it was set up, is out of the competitors. Ah, yes. Now, what the thing is, each of them are claiming their land, but Mitch, I believe, is getting an upper hand on taking over. Well, all of these air scouts, they're checking out they're checking out mostly to see how far along they're going, but ooh, and Mitch is getting a transport up. I'm using the wrong camera. I have to use the right one. God damn it. This is Mitch's camera. This is Ethan's. God. I do that all the time. It's like, oh, I'll just scroll this over and check this out. I was like, that's not what I want to do, but alright. And here Mitch is loading up his transport with his engineers. Ooh, and Ethan gets the transport off himself. And it's off screen, so you can't see where it's going. But oh, there we go. Engineers are being loaded onto Ethan's transport now. How things get on from here, I don't... Oh, what is Ethan doing? No, would you look at that? Yeah, Ethan, that's not going off to the other islands, but... Where... I'm going to make the right side of the screen just to observe the entire map, and I'll just use the left side to just follow everything. I get the feeling that Ethan's actually transporting those engineers onto Mitchell's land. Let's just check out their lives. Now, the thing is, let's go more into detail about how much of a dictator Ethan is. He just sends his engineers off to the dooms. Like right now, look at this. You're gonna watch. We're gonna watch this transport with the engineer who has a family in his life get killed because the dictator Ethan doesn't care. Oh, yep. It's a sad tale of the engineers because the dictator Ethan doesn't care about their lives. They can have families in their lives. They can have the thing is, those engineers, they are working their asses off to provide a living for their families. Does dictator Ethan care? No, he doesn't. He'll send them off to the graves and not worry about a single thing. They're only tools to his own destruction. But this engineer here, he has a wife, he has a kid. He's trying to provide as much as he can for his family. Let's just hope he makes it through the fight. I see he's building a point defense. He wants to defend himself. That's a very smart move. In this dog-eat-dog world, you have to defend yourself very well. Let me pull this mic a little bit closer so you can hear me a little bit better. But yes, yep. Oh. It's a sad life. That bomber came out of nowhere and just ripped away that engineer's poor soul from his carcass. You see the carcass of that engineer trying to set up a defense for himself. But does Ethan care? No. They're just tools to his own destruction. But here we are. Mitch is actually getting a little bit of a factory going on the Ethan's left side island. Mitch is actually playing the economy-based game, which he's taking all the mass extractors around the island and keeping Ethan off of them. Now that's a crucial part of the game, is you need to sustain an economy to fight a long drawn-out war. So far Mitch is getting the upper hand. Oh, what are these engineers doing? These engineers, like I said, each one has a family that they have to provide for. They're just trying to get a living for themselves. Let's hope they make... Let me get rid of these for you, actually. I just realized that. Let's just hope they make it through these tough times in the midst of war. Let's just survey these troops. Engineers. They're not troops. Let's just hope they survive. How about that? Again, Announcer Dark is always here for you people. Nope. I'm always here to tell you guys about the lives of these poor innocent souls that are thrust into the fields of battle. Bye, engineers. Have a good day. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. Now, if you actually look on the right side of the map, you will see, ooh, that wasn't good. I was going to say, if you look on the right side of the map, you will see the whole wide variety, but during that, I looked over and I saw that those engineers were marching straight to their deaths. Look at those carcasses. It's a shame that you have to see good people lose their lives in this war. These are both tyrannical rulers that nobody likes, actually. That's why this Aeon send them off to, like, battles to get killed. they hope they get killed, pretty much. That's why they're on this far island, or Mars planet. Mars-ish planet. Don't worry about that. But that's why they're on this planet, because Aeon actually don't like them. Either of them. Ethan's on the rebellion. No. Fuck it. Let's go with the Ethan's on the rebellion side of the Aeon, who are fighting back against the tyrannical empire of the Aeon loyalists. That wasn't the loyalists. Renegade. Yeah, the Renegade. Loyalists are the good guys. My bad. Ethan's on the Ethan's on the rebellion, fighting against the Aeon Renegades and the tyrannical Mitch. Let's just say he's part of the. Let's just go with he's part of the Aeon noble family. Sure, why the fuck not? Yeah, Mitch is part of the Aeon noble family, and they hate him. But duty is duty, and they send him off to battle. Hopefully, they both get killed in one way or the other. But sadly, the last two matches, they got away from the battles, but they left their command suits behind. And here we are with Mitch's Aeon. Nope. Mitch's engineer that survived the grueling battle of watching his comrades die before him. Their carcasses surround his body. Ooh, and Ethan's getting a bit of a point defensive fight off Mitch, but he can't hold off his hordes of units. This poor engineer, slowly fighting to survive. He has to absorb. Nope. He has to feed off of his engineer brethren and fight back for another day to survive. And I don't think that day will last very long, because those are 2 more gunships coming in for they want they want blood. Yeah, let's go with that. They want blood. And I fear that poor engineer won't survive the night. Day and night. Yeah, let's go with that. You just watch that poor engineer get killed under the dictator Ethan with his gunships. And Mitch did not care at all. He does, just like the dictator, he does not care at all about his troops. They just send them off to their deaths. They have families they have to support, which is why they joined this war, or else they wouldn't, but they have families of their own. Anyways, let's check out this. Mitch is actually getting his power supply going, and I am starting to tech up. But it's not me that's teching up. It's Mitch that's getting to tier 2. While Mitch is getting to tier 2, he's leaving Ethan in the dust. As Ethan has not, he does have tier 2 factories, but he is not taking up his commander for the long, perilous journey of this war. Battle. It's a battle, not a war. But here, on the right side, we see Mitch has surrounded 80% of the map. Yeah, let's go with that. He's surrounded 80% of the map to Ethan's one island as he slowly cripples Ethan. And he's able to support his large force of troops building in the building for the assault. And he has a naval yard, so he has control of the navy too. But on this map, it doesn't matter. As long as you control the air or the ground. That's a deciding factor of the game. Anyway, Announcer Dark will shut up for a while as we watch what goes on in the battle. Hopefully something entertaining, but I don't really think so. Let's watch this engineer, actually. I'm sorry you had to see that, folks. I'm truly sorry that you had to watch that poor engineer get murdered as he works. This is why you don't support the Aeon faction. They are tyrannical rulers who just are in for the greed of conquering new planets. They just send their forces off into the abyss just to get killed. Anyways, Mitch is here actually building up his power with a bunch of tier 1 power generators. He's slowly getting the economy back online for himself. Well, he always had the economy, never mind. He's slowly powering up his economy to start cranking out more units. But I feel that the tyrannical Mitch is actually going for he's actually going for quantity over quality of troops. And it seems to me that Ethan, the dictator Ethan, is actually going for quality over quantity. Which one will win? Will quality work? It sometimes works in real life, but who knows? Anyways, back onto the concluding episode of the tournament. We never left. I never ended the episode. I just realized that now. Anyways, we're back in it. And Ethan is using his quantity of units to actually take down the Mitch's force of interceptors. And we see that the quality of the units are surpassing the quantity, but Mitch's forces are fighting on to the very end. They will not give up until the last ship goes down, and sadly, it just went down. They had no true fighting chance against the quantity of the quality of better ships compared to their cheap ones. But does it matter to the tyrannical Mitch? No, it doesn't. He does not care at all about the troops behind the pilot. The troops behind the technology. There we go. They are the ones that matter the most. But do they care? No. It's just about the troops. Fuck. It's just it's just about the, how do I say it? It's just about the force of raw power that has to go through it. And it looks like Ethan's actually trying to do a little damage to it, but he's flying his troops straight through Mitch's naval ships. Like I said, Ethan doesn't care at all. He just wants to push out his troops to the very depths of hatred for Mitch. That he'll just send them off to the deaths. Like the transport that we're not trying to pay attention to, that just got shot down. That pilot, he will never see his wife again. His 6-year-old daughter that is back on the Aeon planet. That dictator Ethan does not even care. What was that? Yeah, he doesn't have a 6-year-old daughter? Anyways, back to his wife. What? He doesn't have a wife either? Anyways, that lonely pilot was just sent off to his death. But these tanks, they are, I think I just finished tier 3. Alright. These tanks are making their way up Mitch's territory as they fight their way off of the Normandy type of beach. Fighting through the hills to push into Mitch's territory. They're slowly progressing. And actually facing no opposition, to be honest. So they're doing pretty well. But what's this? Ethan's built... Nope, not Ethan. Mitch is building a quantum gateway to get some more tyrannical leaders to join the battle of taking down Ethan's troops. Oh, what's this? Another transport going off onto the other island. Ooh, and look at that. 3 heavy tanks. There we go. They're not hover tanks. 3 heavy tanks make their way onto the battlefield now. But let's check in on the right side of the map. Mitch still has nope. Mitch still has most control over the entire map, as Ethan slowly tries to cripple his economy, and doing fairly well actually at the same time. Yeah, it looks like Ethan's going for more of the quality type of troops over quantity like Mitch's. But we're going to see another engagement of these heavy tanks over here. Or not. They're just going to pause right there. Oh, what's this? Mitch is sending his quantity of troops over to fight the hover tanks. Heavy tanks. Yeah, that's what they're called. I'm going to get these wrong every single time. But Announcer Dark knows what he's talking about, and I'm never wrong. But who's going to win? The quantity or the quality of troops? And so far it looks like the quantity of troops is actually being Ethan's quality. Ooh, that poor tank. But this one's still alive. But we're now down. Oh, no. No! The tank is being slowly eaten away by the engineer, and he fights back. But the engineer has done his damage. Those poor troops are trapped inside the tank. They will never make it out. I'm sorry, folks, but you have to watch another death happen. But fear not. There's another heavy tank still alive and fighting for his brothers. And over here, Ethan makes another critical strike against Mitch's economy. As he does devastating damage to not his infrastructure. Fuck it. The infrastructure of his economy. What's he building? What is Mitch building here? Oh, he's building SAM turrets as defenses and a shield generator. This could be a game changer here. Mitch tries to fight back with his interceptors, but they are no match for the overwhelming size and technology that Ethan's troops have produced. But Mitch has gotten up a SAM turret. Am I even an announcer anymore? I think I'm a little bit of an announcer, but who cares about that part? Announcer Dark is never wrong. But listen. I don't know what I'm having you listen to, but it doesn't matter. The battle is raging on, and Mitch is actually surviving this match. Look at all the carcasses that Ethan has let spray across the ground. And he tries to retreat his troops, but in a critical error, they fly into enemy territory on waters. As they're slowly shot down into the crevasse of the ocean. Folks, here we go. Where? I don't remember. Are those the tanks? Anyway, ooh, look at that. Why does... Oh, well. Look at that. Mitch has moved off his naval ships into Ethan's passageway to the right side. It's devastating. But the thing is... And look at the carcasses. The carcasses of the gunships that have slowly passed before. But down here, sadly, we have to watch more of these poor souls get lost in the depths of the battlefield. Like that gunship right there. He slowly lost his life as his ship, as his home, sinks to the bottom of the water. And look, there's more of them. These pilots will never be found again as they crash into the depths of the ocean. Never to be spotted again. And never to be returned to their families. truly a shame. But it's what has to happen. This is why we will not let either of them become the tyrannical ruler of the world. The galaxy must be free of the tyrannical rule. This is why we vote for a new president. And that's why we vote for the Cybran. Cybran aren't playing in this game. Don't worry about that. Pick the Cybran. They're better. Anyways, here we are in another battlefield across the sea. As Ethan's quality of troops fight fight Mitch's quantity. Ignore my whole words. I'm not a very good speaker once I get into. Ooh, but what's this? Ethan has advanced to Tech 3 technology as he brings in the Harbinger Mark IV, a devastating assault bot. It is a truly devastating assault bot as it's an apex predator as it feasts upon all smaller predators. Just look at that. It's wiping out all those troops right there. It's an apex predator of its time. Look how fascinating it is as it marches across the land. It makes headway at amazing speed. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. And it's another gunship raid on... Why? Forget. I forgot that map is actually the full view, but you know what? It works for right now. Check this out, people. Look at the Harbinger Mark IVs are now being transported to new lands. Now you have to understand, people. The Harbinger Mark IVs, their natural habitat is actually on the southwest piece of land where Ethan's home has been made on this planet. That's their native home. That's where they're supposed to be living. But here, Ethan doesn't care about that. He is infesting the land with the Harbinger Mark IVs. They are a devastating apex predator that feasts upon all lower beings. They're not allowed to spread off their land, but here Ethan doesn't care about a single thing about that. He has spread them across the land without a care in the world. They will infest these lands like no end. That's how devastating they are, and they're not allowed to leave. But Ethan here, like Dictator Ethan, does not care at all. These are how... Nope. This is how bad these tyrannical rulers are. They will infest every land they come across without caring in the world for the consequences. Anyways, on Mitch's other side of the island, Ethan is actually causing a bit of a devastation with 2 Harbinger Mark IVs making his way across his land, as 2 other ones are actually destroying Mitch's power supply. But Mitch actually doesn't need those T1 power supplies anymore. It's considering he is actually at Tech 2, 3. But here, with the quantity of troops that at the disposal of Mitch, it doesn't matter about them. The Harbinger Mark IVs cannot defend themselves against being surrounded by the natural species in slowly they will starve and die. Well, they won't starve, they'll just be killed. But that doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. But as you can see on the right side of the map, they're slowly being spread to new types of lands where they will infest the lands and wipe out, make every species on the island extinct. But here, you're seeing that Mitch's forces are trying to fight back against an infestation as he sends his troops into Ethan's infrastructure of his island, slowly to decay him from the inside. But who knows if it actually will work. You can see a large, massive force just marching their way. And if you look, the Harbinger Mark IVs had actually succeeded in fighting off the natural predators of the Mitch's lands. This battle is slowly ramping up, people, as the devastation across the lands have been very tolling on the natural inhabitants. But again, these tyrannical rulers do not have a care in the world for the natural order of the species. The true rulers of these planets are definitely in the Cybran. But that's a different story. Don't worry about that. And as you can see, Ethan's land have, well, sort of. They've actually fought off the invasion of Mitch's forces on his natural island, but they are doing a very tolling infrastructure damage across the land that who knows if Ethan can actually recover from. Look at those Harbinger Mark IVs fight their way back into the top predatory spots here on Ethan's Island. Their natural shields protect themselves from the fangs of the unshielded predators. The lower species that are not naturally shielded, they cannot make it past their fangs skin. But the Harbinger Mark IVs, their fierce talons and fangs pierce through the flesh of the lower tier tech units. Anyways, actually looks like the dictator Ethan has actually conquered the northwest part of the islands to a certain point. The eastern islands, he's actually not paying attention. So slowly, the harbingers are actually just sitting there, slowly being pestered as they don't care about the lower tier units. But on the west side of his natural base, he has actually fought off all invasion of the islands with his units. So 2.5 out of Mitch's 5 island captures have slowly been whittled to nothing due to the infestation. And we just watched a gunship get killed pretty much, so. Anyways, well, as you can see, most of Mitch's economy is actually kind of crippled, which does a devastating blow to his fat ego. Oh man, that sounds sexual. Nope, cut that out. I'm not trying to cut it out, but cut that out. Look at those gunships actually being surrounded by those tier 1 interceptors. As the quantity of troops actually outnumbers the quality. And look at that, folks. I am starting tier 2 again. But doesn't matter? No, it doesn't. Because Ethan doesn't have enough supplies to actually tech up faster. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It'll take him quite a bit of time to actually finish this upgrade. Time that is so precious that it's needed. Well, here we are, people. Soon, the climax of the match seems to be coming. But who knows who will actually win? Find out in the next episode. Except these are not episodic. This fight is all one match. As you can actually see, Mitch is actually cutting off Ethan's units from being able to cross the sea, which is a smart idea because if you have enough ships blocking those canals, Ethan cannot get units out of the map. But the thing is, he doesn't have the entire channels protected fully. This match is a truly devastation for all lives of the Aeon. Our Cybern hearts. Do Cybern have hearts? Fuck it. Our Cybern modifications. Cyberifications. Something. They go out to the poor Aeon souls that are slowly being willed to nothing. Dirty Aeon. That part's not a bit right. It is? Well, fuck. Why don't you cut it out? No. What? No, just cut. Fuck you, stupid producer. Anyways, Announcer Dark. I'm Announcer Dark. Why? Announcer Dark, what is going on? Fuck it. Well, Announcer Dark. I'm just hanging to Announcer Dark's conversations between each other. I guess it works. If you actually look on the map, on the left-hand side, or mostly both hand sides, if you look to the east, you'll actually see transports being flown out of Mitch's barrier of troops that he's trying to cut off from the passage. And where could they be going? But who knows? That didn't make any sense. Where could they be going? Nobody will actually know until they land. But the thing is, they are carrying. I actually don't know. I'm guessing Harbinger Mark IVs, but because that's all Ethan's been producing. But will they be devastating enough to cause chaos amongst the land? As it looks like Mitch is actually bombarding Ethan's infrastructure now with his power supply. With a bunch of gunships and I think a battleship, maybe? It's either a cruiser or a battleship, I don't know. Yeah, it's a battleship. Alright. I couldn't tell if it was like the cruiser with the missile shootings out or it was a battleship. But a tier 3 battleship is truly devastating. As you can see, it's a powering through the defenses of Ethan's. Fuck it. It's powering through Ethan's defenses. And this could be the end. Ethan has nearly one final push that he can make. Will these Harbinger Mark IVs actually be the solution to his problems? I actually don't know. I don't know if 8 Harbinger Mark IVs can actually make it. Nope. Let's see if they can make any critical damage. Let's just go with that. Yeah. As Ethan's shoreline is infrastructure is bombarded by that battleship. And he has lost his tier 3 radar, which provided him all support he needed. He's truly on his final lifelines. But let's see how things are going to go for him. Will this final push work? I have no clue, people. But he's clumped up the Harbinger Mark IVs, and they make their way out of their breeding zone from their infestation. I don't know if Mitch has the technology to actually... oh, he's actually making a lot of point defenses, actually. Ooh, and a tactical missile. That is way too guided. And missed. As the natural defenses of Mitch's Islands are actually pushing the Harbingers to extinction on Mitch's lands. They truly have no place on these lands and can't do anything about it. But one survives off in the distance. And it seems like the final battles of Ethan has come to an end. Well, folks, here it comes down to the very end. Ethan's base is... Ooh, and there goes the final strike. And the winner of all the tournament of the first round, the victor is... the tyrannical Mitch. Soon, both contestants will rejoin me in the chat, and we'll get their opinions on what they feel about this match. So, if they would join me, anytime now. There we go. There's the first one. There's the second one.
Oh my god! Ugh, I had no idea what to do at the end, near towards the end. Oh, wow.
It got rough.
Mitch, now that you won the tournament overall, how do you feel about being the winner?
Being the winner, I feel good. Although Ethan is like an honorable cockroach that won't die.
An honorable cockroach that won't die. Thank you. That's the best compliment I've ever received.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mitch, now that you've won the overall first round, how do you feel about advancing on the tournament about your next opponent?
Pretty good. I look forward to seeing who I'm going to fight next, so...
Ethan, as a loser, how does it feel that you're now going into the loser's bracket?
I have a chance to win my way all the way up, and I'm going to be ruthless and brutal.
Well, there you have it, folks. The two tyrannical rulers of the Aeon have concluded their match, and on to the next round of the tournament. See you next time.